Every year games just keep coming out.
And we're anticipating them, always.
But not all of them.
In this video, we're gonna show 5 games each that we are the most anticipated to see in 2025.
We're gonna come up with our top 10 most anticipated list.
And all of these games will be games that we have not yet mentioned on our channel. At the end, you also have bonus games, and all of these we will have had mentioned before.
So how this is gonna go? We're each gonna present a game, tell you why we think it's worth anticipating, and then we're gonna give a rating.
One that nobody will be surprised about. I'm interested in Lord of the Rings re-theme of The Crew. This is a cooperative game where each round one of you will play Frodo and other people will get different roles. Like for example, you will play Sam, Pippin, or...
No, Aragorn.
You're not Aragorn.
Okay.
You're another type.
Can I be Treebeard then?
Oh yeah, Treebeard definitely. Yeah. Slow.
Don't be hasty.
Because of these roles, you will have different tasks that you will want to do. And you will do these things by playing out cards.
So what's your anticipation rating from 1 to 5?
Even 1 is still a good rating, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because it's on the list. Yeah. So for me, it's 3. I'm excited, but I'm not also thinking like, hey, this will be groundbreaking, right? It's gonna be The Crew with a different theme.
Yeah,
so
I'll give it 3 as well. I actually wanted to pick it, but I'm like, wait, hasn't this come out yet? Turns out it hasn't. So Battlestar Galactica is the first game I ever gave 10 to on Board Game Geek. Like, first game ever. I loved it, I loved the co-op aspect, I loved the trader aspect, but as the years went on, I understood that it has a major flaw. It has a flaw where if you're the trader, you can do just one action and fail the game. So a new game next year is coming out called Orient Express. Orient Express is a Cthulhu-themed game, which I don't care much for, but it is a fully co-op game where a train is racing through a dreamland, and you want it to get to the end, you don't want it to stop. That's one of the ways you can lose. There are passengers that some of them are cultists. If you don't find the correct ones and don't throw them out the train, they're gonna create a ritual and you're gonna lose the game. But what it doesn't have is the trader aspect, which I felt like was a breaking point for Battlestar Galactica. Other than that, it feels like it's gonna hit the exact niche. And
how excited are you?
3.5.
So you're saying 3.5 just for it to be up there, huh?
Oh. And one of the designers is the designer of Nemesis. Saved by Adam Kwapinski.
For me, it's Valkyrie. And Valkyrie is a board game that remake.
Yeah, it's like a sequel-ish.
It's actually a historic game, a cooperative game at that, where you will try to kill Hitler. You will play people that were in Hitler's inner circle, yet at one point realize that
maybe he's just too much. Maybe he should be stopped.
You try to make that happen. You try to make plans, set it all in motion, and then try to commit that homicide.
Saving the world, I thought.
But it's really, really, really tough because a lot of things have to go right for it to go right. And the Valkyrie will be the same game, only streamlined, simpler, and with shorter. Simpler rules and shorter, which might make it brilliant or might break it. Yeah, it might be even 3.5. Let's do that.
Wow. Okay.
So depending on you,
3.5. Next one is from a small company called Stonemaier Games that have put out these small hits like Sight,
Wingspan,
Viticulture. Yeah, you might have heard of these games. You might have heard of the game that's coming out by Jamie Stegmaier is Vantage. So it's an exploration, story-ish game, crash land on a planet. And we are on different parts of that planet ourselves. And I can tell you what I'm seeing, but you don't see it yourself. And you're somewhere else, and somebody else is somewhere else. And you were trying to explore the planet. And it's not a campaign game, which is like, how is that gonna work? And there are tons of different cards and events that can happen.
Your aim of the game is to explore.
Yeah, it's to explore the planet, yeah. There's not full amount of information yet available, even though Jamie does a blog about how and what is designed. In my head, it sounds like 7th Continent, but good. I'm gonna put it 3.
The most intriguing part definitely is that fact that you only know this information to explore it, but other than that, I feel like it's a 2. Let's be clear here, we know nothing about these games except some pitch about it and a few pictures. Nova Era is a board game from Seaman. This one is a civilization game. You all play these civilizations starting from the bottom, hopefully be at the top at the end by drafting cards, playing cards, and then also using your resources. And you try to manage your resources to build the best civilization possible. It sounds like Through the Ages, but it feels like it will be really epic, will look nice, and it's much quicker and should be more fluent than Through the Ages.
To be honest, my biggest issue with Through the Ages actually is not the length of the game, but the downtime between the turns, because you can't do nothing. You can't plan, you're just like, well, I just take 10 minutes until my turn comes around. I'll go 3.5 as well. And I'm gonna use my left arm to right, so brace yourselves. I'm definitely gonna pitch the game with the coolest name on this list, guaranteed. And it is called Moon Colony Bloodbath.
Nice.
Can it get cooler than that?
Yeah, definitely. Badass.
Okay, and how it works is we're building each our own moon colony. Trying to build buildings, so they're gonna give points. They're gonna come out crazy robot cards that kill like 7 people. And you start out with some people in the colony, but if you don't have enough, then you have to destroy a building, and the buildings have like a value of people on them. Points are actually the people. So if somebody runs out of the people, they're all dead, bloodbath. I think this is either gonna be really bad,
yeah,
or really good.
But that builds excitement.
Yeah, sure. So I'm quite excited for it, and actually I'm gonna give it a 4.
All right, let's
5.
Give it 3.
Just give it 5. Ooh, let's go.
So for me, it's Silos. And a Silos is actually a re-theme, but also upgrade of a previously already created game by Ryan Knizia. In this game, you are aliens that have found Earth and wants to brainwash everybody. Because there are only 2 intelligent beings on planet Earth. One is humans, another is cows. So you try to brainwash both of them, and cows are much more valuable. And in this game, on your turns, you move your pieces and play event. And Silos means secret interloopers from outer space. It should be improvement on already pretty high rated game, so pretty excited to try it. 3 for me.
Actually, I might be more excited than you. 3.5 for me.
Alright.
If there's something I like as much, or maybe sometimes more than space, is
Aliens.
they're in space. Oh. I'll just tell you what the game is Westerns. I like Westerns, and there are not a ton of, there are actually very little good Western board games. And one of those good games is called Western Legends. But there's a game coming out called Western Legends Stories. Essentially takes the basis of the Western Legends game, which was a sandbox game where you try to get a lot of money to score points, and you can do whatever. You can raise cattle, steal cattle, you can play poker, you can try to hunt bounties, you can be the bad guy that some are hunting for. And this is taking that basis but creating into a story game where you start out in the frontier and you can buy buildings and build them and all the things I mentioned before in the previous game, and throughout the chapters this little town that you start will evolve.
How excited?
I think 4. Wow.
I haven't played the original, but I want to, and I mean, what's a better way to go into it than Legacy?
Actually, not Legacy, it's a campaign. I think it's fully resettable.
For this one, I don't know much about, but one thing sold me. It's called Ruins, and it should be a pretty simple game about shedding. You have cards in your hand, and the winner will be who will get rid of those cards. But before you play a card, you upgrade it. First thing you do, you pick up a transparent sheet, place it inside of a sleeve, upgrade the card, and then play it.
Oh, similarly to Dead Reckoning.
I'm not quite sure how you get those cards back or how you can upgrade them multiple times, but you can, and these transparent cards will take these runes and add more and more things to it, so this card looks better and better. I think that's one like mechanism or thing that's not overused in board games at all. Transparent cards that actually feels like you're building something. Visually you can see that, so I'm also really interested in trying it out. Let's say 3.
3 as well for me, yeah. This one's called Away Team, The Voyages of Pandora. You're like a captain of a spaceship, and you're gonna explore different systems of planets, and then you go to the system, you pull the board, and there are different planets and different things you can explore there. You can go to that planet, then you're gonna take that planet board, like zoom in, and you decide what crew you're gonna send there. You're essentially scientists, and I like the one thing that I said, trying not to be eaten, or whatever. You don't know what you're gonna find there, what life forms or anything, and then you're gonna upgrade your crew, you're gonna go to different planets. They say there are like 80 hours of gameplay in there. Oh, and it's a fully solo game.
Sounds like a great game for somebody who said he doesn't want any more campaign games.
This is not a campaign. It's a solo game.
Oh, so you're planning to play it one time, huh?
Moving on, it's gonna be the 5 for me. It's been on the pre-order list for a couple of years actually now. So I've been anticipating it for a while now. 2.
Don't care for sci-fi. GMT. Okay, one question. How big the rulebook will be?
That's a good question because they have a learning mission booklet. So I'm assuming they're gonna ease you into it.
Not gonna be good, so yeah, you know what, 1.5.
It does say 1 training mission booklet. So I'm assuming they're gonna teach you the game as you kind of start playing it, yeah.
Fine. And this is not the end of the video, because I'm gonna re-rank these in the right order based on our scores. And while I'm doing that, Giannis will tell you all the games that we're excited about this year. Even more, for me, why it's only 3s and 4s, because I'm even more excited about the games we already have talked about. So, Giannis, you go.
The first one is a Grim Coven from Awakened Realms, where you essentially are playing a hunter that is trying to kill the big baddie. There are minions, each big baddie works differently, you have special skills. If you know Bloodborne, the video game, this is kind of like that in a board game form. We actually have a review of this up, so if you want to check it out, check it out. Next one coming out next year is also from Awakened Realms, is Nemesis Retaliation. This is the third game in that series. In this game, you actually play buffed up Marines, going in and finally showing it to those aliens. Is it easier? No, it isn't. Are there traitors that are gonna stab you in the back and leave you hanging while they fly away safely on a chopper?
Yes, yes.
But it is still great. It feels way more different than Lockdown did the original Nemesis, so it's definitely worth getting. Next one we're super excited about is Avalon, the Riven Whale. It's an area control game with a super unique card system where you use cards to do actions and fight, and is just really nice and very asymmetric. Very asymmetric. This is from the creators of Oathsworn. Nothing like it, except in the quality of components.
If you would ever go to a table where somebody's playing this, you would have no clue what's happening, because there's so many beautiful looking and colorful miniatures.
Alright, there are some that we don't have boxes to show, but for example, Lens of Evershade is another one that we're super excited about.
You will have tons of stories with beautiful choices, tough choices, fun choices, and then also this dungeon crawler a bit, the fighting system.
Another one for me is Cyberpunk, the board game, which is a real-time game, co-op game where we play at the same time. Super excited to play that with my boys. Looking forward to it. Hopefully it's as well coming out this year. There must be more out there that you are anticipating that will come out in 2025. Which are those?
So this is how the final list looks like. Western Legends Stories goes on top, then it's your AT. Something, no, Era, Moon Colonies, Bath, Valkyrie's House. These games we're super excited to see on the table next year. What are your most anticipated games of the year? Let us know in the comments.
Did you know these games? Are you looking forward to these games? Are you looking forward to ordering a really cool t-shirt of our store?
Check out our homepage and buy some t-shirts, because it really helps us.
Yeah.
Bye.
It really does. Bye.